We are subject to wealth. So sadly in Australia, real estate has been turned into a commodity. People in places like Sydney, there's a dream, oh, Byron Bay, and so it's getting bought up. A lot of that buying process involves buying first and moving later, so the house sits empty and is made available for holiday let, but it's removed from the housing stock. That puts the price up, and housing affordability is now a huge issue for the Shire. It's decimating opportunities for young people to stay here when they grow up and leave home. Housing costs are massive, whether buying or renting. The Greens are addressing this at various levels of government, but locally we need to change the rules a little bit so that we look after the low end of the wealth spectrum. I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land on which I'm standing and on which you might be viewing me, the Bundjalung Nation, and acknowledge their elders, past, present and emerging. Let's remember that this land was never ceded. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I'm Duncan Dey. I'm running for Mayor and for Councillor in the 2021 elections for Byron Shire Council. I've lived in the Shire for almost 30 years and I'm a civil engineer and have worked mostly on flood analysis, determining 1 in 100 year flood levels, for example. I've also done a lot of work on water supply, sewage management, and all of that work has brought me into a position where I understand the Acts of Parliament, the planning systems, the local government systems, because I've worked in them. Also, I've been a councillor. I've done 6 years in 2 different terms of council, so I understand how that system works as well. I understand how to be a representative of people. This term that's coming up is truncated by having been started very late. It'll be a rush to get done what a normal 4-year term gets done. One of the things that makes me suitable is that I've done council before. I know how it works. It'll be tough for the Shire if they elect someone who hasn't even been a councillor as mayor. It'll take them 18 months to learn what's going on, and then they'll have a year left. We need an actual growth management strategy, not just a plan for what's going to be industrial, a separate plan for residential, a separate plan for everything else. The plans need to be integrated for 2 reasons. One is that an integrated plan will determine how fast we accede to the demand of activities here. But more importantly than that, it determines what sort of infrastructure we need to support those activities when they get here. When there's more people, you need more shops, you need more roads. But as we create all these things, we can always do it with respect for the environment, which in fact, in reality, is the reason why people want to live here. Vote for me, Duncan Dey, in the council elections 2021 for Mayor and for Councillor. It's about protecting this beautiful place that we live in, Byron Shire, and preserving it for ourselves and for the future.
Authorised by Sylvia Hale for the Greens New South Wales.